Now let's talk about national security. Did you ever think we'd look at the sky and see a Chinese spy balloon flying over us? It was a national embarrassment. You've got Russia invading Ukraine. You've got Iran building a bomb. You've got North Korea testing ballistic missiles. You've got China on the march. But make no mistake, none of that would have happened had we not had that debacle in Afghanistan. The idea that my husband and his military brothers and sisters who served there had to watch us leave Bagram Air Force Base in the middle of the night without telling our allies who stood shoulder to shoulder with us for decades because we asked them to be there. Think about what that told our friends. More importantly, think about what that told our enemies. And now we're facing the biggest threat we faced since World War II. China has been planning war with us for years. And that's not me being dramatic. They're already here. They've already infiltrated. They bought 400,000 acres of U.S. soil, most recently near Grand Forks Air Force Base, where our most sensitive drone technology is. They bought the largest pork producer in the country, right here in Iowa. They're putting millions of dollars into universities, stealing our research, and spreading Chinese propaganda. You freaked out when there was a Chinese spy balloon? What about this? 90% of our law enforcement drones in America are Chinese. So think about all the mini spy balloons and the surveillance that they have right now. You've got the fact that there's certain technologies we never want China to have because they go and threaten America and they help China, the Chinese Communist Party, yet the Biden administration gave them 70% of those requests last year. Then you go and you look at the fact that we've got a spy base off the shores of Florida on Cuba. It's only a matter of time before they put Chinese military there. We can't let that happen. You look at the fact that we're looking at the fentanyl situation. We've lost more Americans than the Iraq, Afghanistan, and Vietnam wars combined. 75,000 Americans just last year. Then you look at what China's doing with their military. They've built up their military. They now have the largest naval fleet in the world. They have 350 ships. They'll have 400 ships in 2 years. We won't even have 350 ships in 2 decades. They're doing artificial intelligence. They're doing cyber. They're doing space. They've developed hypersonic missiles. We've barely gotten started. And now they're the lead developer of neurostrike weapons. Weapons engineered to disturb the brain activity of military commanders and segments of the population. That's who we're dealing with. You can't appease a communist party like that. Not when they're that focused, not when they're that clear on what they want to do. The only thing China's going to respond to is strength. So how do we deal with it? First thing is stop selling any U.S. soil to China and let's take back what they already purchased. They don't get to have that. We'll go to our universities and we'll say you either take Chinese money or you take American money, but the days of taking both are over. We'll get that Chinese infiltration out of our universities. We will blacklist all the technology that helps the Chinese Communist Party and not allow any more of that technology to go over there that can hurt us. And we'll go to China and we'll say, we are going to end all normal trade relations with you until you stop murdering Americans. And you watch how fast they stop that fentanyl flow because they need America at the end of the day. I think you should give them that time before we And then you go when it comes to our military. We need a strong military. It's hugely important. Strong militaries don't start wars. Strong militaries prevent wars. But that doesn't mean you throw money at the Department of Defense. That means you pull down the bureaucracy, you get rid of the red tape, you make sure that the money that's there is going to the things that will modernize our military. The next war is not land, air, or sea. It's land, air, sea, artificial intelligence, cyber, and space. Let's get up. Let's make sure that our men and women are ready. Let's make sure they have the equipment they needed. They have to stop playing favorites with defense companies, and they have to start doing what's in the best interest of our military. Because when I was at the United Nations, there was nothing that China, Russia, and Iran wanted less than for us to be energy independent or for us to have a strong military. Let's build it back. And let me tell you what doesn't build a strong military. Stop with all this ridiculousness like gender pronoun classes. It is demoralizing our military to have that. So we had the solution. Oh, let me say this because this is becoming more of a hotbed. I know there's a debate about whether we should be involved in Russia and Ukraine. Don't ever forget, before the Olympics, when President Xi and Putin held hands and named themselves unlimited partners. A win for Russia is a win for China. They know that. Putin has made it very clear that once he takes Ukraine, Poland and the Baltics are next. Those are NATO countries. Then we're in a war. We are trying to prevent war. I don't want my husband or any other military members to have to go fight anywhere. So the way we do that is make sure we give them the equipment and the ammunition to win. They are doing incredibly well. But Biden has not done a good job explaining this to you. He owes it to you to let you know where that's being spent. I don't think we should give cash to any country. I've always believed in that. I think that we work with our European allies to give them the equipment and the ammunition to win. I don't think we put troops on the ground. But there is a way that we can defeat them. We know Putin just went for a bailout to North Korea with Kim Jong-un. They're getting drones from Iran. They're getting missiles from North Korea. They've raised the draft age in Russia to 65. Putin is now having to institute a draft, which he didn't want to do in the first place, so they're now doing that. We've defeated 50% of their defense forces. The Ukrainians have. What we have given is 3.5% of our defense budget. 11 European countries have given more than us, as they should. That's a small price to pay to prevent war. Don't give up now. We can't. This is about our security. Don't ever allow America to get into the position that we are so arrogant that we don't think we need friends. We always need friends. And we always need to have a president that has moral clarity. Moral clarity to know the difference between right and wrong. Moral clarity to know the difference between good and evil.